Hey guys, welcome back to Impractical Gaming, and today we're talking about Overwatch. My first video on this channel was a review about Paladins, and in that video I referenced that it was very similar to Overwatch. I'm convinced not a lot of people agreed with me, and I wouldn't blame me because it's not a popular opinion. People said Paladins is a cheap copy, that Overwatch is clearly superior, and all that crap. Most people played Overwatch first and then Paladins and then formed their opinion that way. But obviously I came the other way around, so I never really quite got that. Now that was over 2 months ago, and I think it's about time I thoroughly checked out the game for myself. I would have done this a lot earlier, but I lacked the money and I only recently managed to get it for free. This video will be a review, but throughout I'll be comparing it to Paladins. Why? Because I can. So enough talk, here's how I got on with Paladins. I mean Overwatch. Considering I've played this type of game already, I felt like I would settle into it a lot more than when I played Paladins. I mean, I got the basic gist of it, but I for some stupid reason expected a lot of similar mechanics to Paladins, and that was my mistake. Playing it now, see, making that comparison in my first video, check it out by the way, wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done. You are a part of Overwatch, an organization long disbanded whose aim is to protect the planet. I like the Paladins, there's no story mode, but I like a little bit of background to the game if nothing else. This game is very fast paced, and if I'm honest, employs a bit more tactics than Paladins. I'll explain that in the next segment. The basic idea is you team up in groups of 6 to try and complete the objective, and the composition of your team will affect how the game pans out. But not for the whole game. Again, I'll explain in the next segment. It's probably unfair to compare it like this, but it's clear that Overwatch had a lot more money pumped into building it. And to be fair to the devs at Blizzard Entertainment, this is truly fun to play, and once I started playing with my friends, I was basically glued to it. However, it was still early days, and it's going to take a lot more to completely convert me from Paladins. The gameplay in Overwatch is in some ways similar, but in a lot of ways different to Paladins. For starters, you have an extra member on your team to begin with, so the fight is a bit more frantic. On your team, each member can pick hero types between offense, defense, support and tank, which is basically the equivalent to the flanks, damage, support and frontline in Paladins. However, unlike in Paladins where your decision is final, in Overwatch you can freely swap between heroes when you're in your spawn. This is probably my favourite feature of Overwatch because this allows for so much tactical flexibility, which is very much needed when it comes to the game modes Overwatch has. Say for example you're attacking an objective at the start, so you choose an offense type hero. You then succeed and then need to defend that objective. Therefore you could choose to be a defense or a tank type hero. However, that really depends on the game mode you're playing, of which Overwatch has a lot. There's literally so many to choose from, and each one is very unique, so it requires you to change how you play just a little bit. What Overwatch has here is what Paladins lacked immensely for me, a plethora of genuinely interesting and fun game modes instead of just playing Siege all the time. Another thing that's wildly different is the abilities you have. In Paladins, each champion has 5 abilities including an ult, but in Overwatch a hero may or may not have 5 abilities to manually use yourself. Some may be passive, so they're like perks. And another thing, there are no perks. There are no perks or no in-game credit system that based on your performance allows you to beef up your character. This is probably due to the ability to change heroes, because otherwise it would be pretty unfair for perks to cross over between them, which is understandable. Another thing that was missing that really threw me off was the lack of regeneration. I thought that once you got hit, you would heal over time. You don't heal by yourself, you either need a support character to help you, your own healing ability, or find a health pack somewhere in the map. This really threw me off because I kept thinking, I'm okay, I'll just heal up. Only to realise I didn't and ended up getting killed very soon after. From a gameplay perspective, I get a little how some can make comparisons, but in reality it's so different. The maps in Overwatch I really do enjoy. There's so much fun to play in and there's a lot more space to work with. They also take inspiration from real world places like Nepal and Hollywood, which I think is really cool. There's just a lot more personality in the maps that have been created. Like for a payload, you're pushing around a black car sometimes. The first thing I noticed about these characters is how they're more magic based than Paladins, which has more sci-fi characters. The second thing I noticed was that despite this, they are the exact same to the Paladins champions. I you not, they are basically clones. Soldier 76 is Victor, DVA is basically Ruckus, Reaper is basically Lex or Androxus or some twisted combination of the two. Hanzo and Charlene, Torbjorn and Barak, they're basically the same people. Like if Sombra and Sky aren't twins, then I really don't know anymore. The abilities, the moves, the colour schemes in some cases, it's bordering on ridiculous. Now Overwatch came out first, so I don't know if Paladins is inspired by Overwatch or something. I mean, it's not uncommon for games to be inspired by others, and Overwatch certainly isn't the first game of this genre. But I still find this really, really weird. Now for all you people that ride out for Overwatch like it's the best thing ever, well guess what? It has some problems. I'm gonna keep it brief and start with the loot crates. Now I've never really been a fan of loot crates, but in Overwatch I like them even less. You usually get some kind of indication or variety as to what you're getting inside, but here you're just given an arbitrary box and you have to press X. I keep thinking, oh maybe this time, but no, it's just another spray. At least in Paladins you had a better idea of what you're going to get with the variety in loot crates. I mean it was still bullshit, but you had an idea. The next thing is matchmaking. It takes too long. It's cool that you have skirmishing so that you can play a bit before the match, yes, but a skirmish should last 1 to 2 minutes max, not 5 to 6 minutes. To be perfectly fair, a lot of games struggle with matchmaking, but for a game that's been out this long, surely it should have been fixed by now. There, I've done it. I've played and compared both Overwatch and Paladins. My verdict? Well, both games have their good and bad qualities and both are genuinely fun to play. But I'm not going to sit on the fence here. I'm going to choose the game that I think is more complete, has more to offer to the player, and is just a bit more polished. And for that reason, I'd have to say Overwatch is superior. I still love Paladins and I do love playing it. But what it lacked, Overwatch had in abundance. It's a shame, but it's true. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, then give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below and tell me what you guys think about Overwatch, if you want to complain about something that I said, because I know somebody will anyway, or if you have any other games that you want me to talk about. As always, if you're new, then hit that subscribe button, and also check out some of my other videos as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.